this live so that I can start the other live. If I can do it without breaking. So I'm gonna have to lock it in the washing room because she's watching TV. Hey, I'm gonna have my phone set up, screen shared in there, okay? You don't have to do anything, just like don't go in there. Okay. So am I. But again, we could do something for me. So am I.
Shit.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I guess it'd help if I turn my mic on. What is up? Hopefully, I said that right. Nigel King. I think I said that right. If not, I apologize ahead of time. Nobody ever claimed or, told me I was smart. So, boom. Okay, I need to change that too. Would What you guys up to? Number 49 joined. I see you guys. I'm just typing some stuff real quick. Okay, I'm back. Okay, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook twice. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube is back. Yes. That's what I'm talking about right there, fellers. How you guys doing? TikTok, your messages are delayed. I do apologize for that. I don't have a stream key yet. So I do apologize for that in advance. I do need to get this fixed though. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Ooh, 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 boop, boop, boop. So am I wrong? I need to delete that. Make sure you get huh. Yeah, I don't know why the other one's showing up, but is what it is, I suppose. It's still showing that weird YouTube message. What up, everybody? Vols 1. We're going to be getting this rolling here pretty soon. What up, what up? How's everybody doing? TikTok messages are delayed. Do want to point that out. Do want to point that out. Oop, I guess it'd help if I got the chat rolling. How's everybody doing? We're going to get rolling here in a second. Old Casper's on his way back in as we speak. Bum, 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 bum. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Was a kid crying?
Yep.
Good news, bad news?
Um,
Not really bad news, but you know what I mean. Damn it, I'm gonna have to tell him to text. It's like,
messages?
well, on the Facebook, so it's like showing on the screen.
Oh, God.
Oh wait, no, never mind. It was you that sent the text, I think. Well, no, there's two messages in there.
Oh, I did send one. I'm sorry. I was just trying to tell you where
Let
I
me
went.
see if I want to make sure it's not going to open up here. I think it's delayed though. Oh no, you're good. Yeah, that's what the private chat's for. I was gonna say, I was like, why is he sending messages right now? I wonder if it'll let me exit out of it from here, perhaps. No, yes, no, maybe not. Well, either way. Okay. Well, I don't want to wait too long on him,
Yeah.
especially. So
Yeah.
we'll just kind of get it rolling. So I'm gonna do kind of a soft intro. By the way, what is up, everybody? We're going to be getting a YouTube. We're going to be getting a podcast recorded here in a second. Do want to let y'all know if I can get it. It's kind of covering the logo, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. But I want them to know that the TikTok messages are delayed, so I'm going to have to move that overlay to the top left at some point. But I'm probably going to do like a soft intro, just to kind of tell the people that are on what we're going to be talking about, but I'll do like the official intro later. I do need to add one more note. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Go to the link tree for links to I think I'm gonna set up an email too, where people can email in questions or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, but yeah, I'm gonna do like kind of like a soft intro or whatever, and then yeah, I'll do the soft intro, then we'll do the official intro later, and then we'll kind of just go into it or whatever, and then I'm gonna try to get better this time about taking actual like natural breaks or whatever. But yeah. So, anyways, okay. Make sure, double check, make sure I get everything pulled up. Move TikTok to the corner. But yeah, I was trying to give him kind of a window to like be sort of on time. Oh man, I still can't see the chat messages though. Sorry, I'm trying to get TikTok situated to where I can see the messages. I know you could see them, but either way. All right. You good? You got your notes? Got your drink? All that fun stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is. So we're 11 and 45 minutes in. Started at 11, I'll say 12 minutes. Okay. Hey guys, what is up? Big Drewski here, as well as my co-host on the bottom, Casper. Welcome to whoever may be listening to this live or later in person, whatever. This is the Little Tangerine Show. This is season 2, episode 6, I believe. If I screwed that up, I will fix that in the post edit there. But welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. Is there competition between Nico and Joe Milton for the starting position at the Tennessee University of Tennessee? One of my favorite drinks got switched out. It's pretty ridiculous. Will the Vols win 9 games this year? We're going to have to see. Is the NFL possibly rigged? There's a lot of stuff we're going to cover. The GOAT retired, a lot of stuff. So if you hadn't already, click like, click subscribe. Make sure you click on the bell. That way you know anytime we post a new podcast or video. If you want all my links, just hit up the link tree, linktr.ee/Big Ladrewski. And also, if you would like to have your voice heard on the podcast, there's a link on there for that as well. You can leave a voicemail, ask a question, cuss us out. The possibilities are, yeah, Casper does no wrong. The possibilities are endless, though. I'm sure by the time I'm just going to go ahead and pub it that way. I'm kind of forced to, but I'm sure you guys it'll be up by the time you guys are hearing this later. But I'm going to have a website up. It's going to be www.bigdrewski.com. That's probably going to be the easiest way to get the links to all my stuff, podcasts, funny videos, me, making fun of Ohio State and or Georgia fans, maybe Dallas Cowboys fans. If I'm good, I can do it all in the same whack, which I'm not going to lie to you. I've been on my game today. We've been doing some major trolling. So also, me and old Casper here are, because I'm a NASCAR fan now. Unofficially. Marty Truex Jr. What's his name? The other guy Martin, you told me to like.
Truex Jr. Oh, I don't. Oh, Noah Gregson.
Yep.
But he got rid of all the sponsors he liked. So
Noah's grandson. What's not awesome Bill from Dawsonville,
you can't be
but his son.
Because that's my driver, and I can't. You just can't. You have to pick somebody else.
It's free country. No, what's the other guy though? Oh, Ricky Bobby in the flesh. What's his name? The guy that just did a full-on mother effing send in that race.
Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain, the last great American left.
The watermelon man.
Just thunder stomped the pedal to the ground and said, "Freedom!" That's one of the greatest things ever. But I am an unofficial NASCAR fan now, trying to get back into it. Casper is the racing nut. If you like racing, NASCAR, dirt racing, he probably talks about lawnmower racing, I'm sure, too. He's got his own podcast called the Caution Flag Contemplations. I got it right.
Got it right for the first time ever. Give me that
What's
hand.
funny is I make fun of it so much that I
pretty much
sometimes
just expect you to say it wrong. So that's
that's the thing.
I said it right.
I make fun of it so much that I actually forget it sometimes. I've called it Taxi Cab Confessionals, Confessionals. I think I called it Constipations or something one time. But anyways,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, to those of you that are watching this live on the interwebs, welcome. Feel free to chime in. Again, we're basically recording a podcast, but this whole thing started from the lives anyway. So feel free to say howdy anytime. If it just chime up. I mean, it gets us pumped. I'm going to need it today anyways, because as Casper knows, I started at 1 a.m. this morning, and I've been to Memphis and back to Knoxville area, and I'm dragging a little bit. I'm 32 now. I can't be doing these these long road trips like that. That's a young man's game. I can't be doing that.
Yeah, you're not. Quit acting like you're old.
32 years young. You know, you're starting to get old when you like are excited to walk into Home Depot. Like it kind of gets your rocks off. Like that's one of the first steps. You know, when you start getting to that B level or that number 2 phase, though, is when you finally just say, you know what, screw it. I'm wearing house slippers. I don't care who sees me. And I'm also going to wear the biggest, thickest, most comfortable socks that I can find because why not?
That's a power move.
Yeah, you get to where you're like, hey, you know what, screw it. I don't care.
Yeah,
And the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what, it is what it is. Dirty Max 002 constantly changing his username says, damn you old man.
Yeah.
Oh, so a lot of stuff happened today. We're going to get into the volunteer stuff first. So if you're not a Vols fan, just, turn your hearing aids down, pull an earbud out, whatever you got to do. We're going to cover some in-house stuff first, and then we're going to come back to some other stuff like, hey, Tom Brady retired. We're going to talk about it. Thoughts on NIL? Is it good? Is it bad? We know how Saban feels about it. Is Dion going to go to the playoffs first 2 years? I mean, we got some stuff we're going to cover, and then I'm sure you guys are going to pop up too and say some random, just off the wall, just stuff. I'm trying to not cuss on these as much, but it's really hard. Y'all are going to say some off the wall stuff, so we're just going to go on a ride. But the Tennessee Vols today won in the most Volsiest fashion that they possibly could on the basketball court today, 46-43 at home against the Auburn Tigers, which is coached by none other than Bruce Pearl, who's former head coach of the Tennessee Vols basketball team. One of my all-time favorite coaches. You know what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. A hardcore race fan told me that one time.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy was.
They all do it. He just got caught, but he had some recruits over to his son's pool party or whatever. That was his quote unquote friends.
Yeah, I mean, at least his wife wasn't writing him checks at the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm. This is true. But yeah, they ended up pulling it out. Me and Casper's probably going to go back and forth a little bit, respectfully, at least until our cohort may or may not get on here, although he's going to miss probably the only part he can contribute to. But either way, Vols won in the most Volsiest fashion they possibly could. Number 2 for now ranked Tennessee Vols beat the number 25th ranked Auburn Tigers 46-43 at home. I personally love games like this. I think we talked about that off the air a little bit earlier. I love these defensive, just slugging matches like that. Um, I can't remember what your stance was. It wasn't a hard
Mm,
stance, but you had a
It,
stance. I
it's a
think you,
pretty hard stance. It's a disgusting basketball game if you can't break 100 between two teams. That's actually a pretty hard stance that I have. Yeah.
I don't see. I don't think it's disgusting. I actually like watching defensive games, especially like nowadays when you got like Steph Curry who's like getting it on the inbound and turning around and pretty much just flipping it up from 3/4 court now and stuff like that. I actually like watching defensive, just slugging matches. Now, it doesn't make for like good basketball sponsors and all that. Like, nobody wants to see two low scoring teams. But to me, I just thought we were watching two of the best teams in the SEC play each other. I mean, Bruce Pearl is kind of known for having a real stout defense. Although when he was at the Vols, he pretty well played like full court press the entire game too, which I thought was interesting. But I just felt like we were watching two really good defenses duke it out. I mean, the Vols have had some struggles on offense, anyways. But I don't necessarily mind it. But I mean, what was kind of some of your takeaways? I mean, I know you said you got a litany of notes there as you're stacking right now.
Uh, it's not really a litany of notes. It's really comes down to one stat line, field goal percentage. Okay. Let's see. The Tennessee Volunteers, we went from the floor 17 for 63 at 27%. 27%. That's not the 3-point line. That's from the field. Okay. So that's disgusting. Um, just kind of put it in perspective, our average on the season shooting percentage is 43.2. So yeah, almost 20% under our average.
Yeah, but did you see what Auburn did though?
They did the same thing, but I mean it's terrible
20,
basketball. I don't want to watch
23
guys miss shots. So
23% from the field, 11.
yeah,
They shot slightly better from on the arc. They actually hit their free throws pretty, a lot better too. But I mean, like I said, for me, I mean, I watched, the majority of the game. I didn't watch every single play, but to me, like I said, I just seen two good defenses duking it out. I mean, we were hitting shots, but I mean, they were just playing stout defense, and then we were playing stout defense. I mean, like I said, it's definitely not a pretty win, but in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, dude, this is great. They're just out there duking it out. Um, my biggest thing was, and again, going back to the balls, um, Josiah Jordan James is really the only one that had a good looking stat line. I mean, 15 points, 14 rebounds. Um, the biggest takeaways for me, Ziegler. I mean, pretty much. I think he only had like 1 point, and it was no, he had 3 points, but hadn't really done anything all game until the very end when he started getting fouled. I mean, he did hit some clutch free throws. But him and Vescovi, they both were kind of like struggling. We're normally like they're kind of the ones that we lean on. But to be honest with you, like, and I've said it all year long. Um, but in my opinion, what's up, Tennessee football 247? Go Vols, he says. Welcome, welcome. But like I've said all week long or all year long, I think the biggest problem with this team is so our defense. Well, let me back up. There's times we play championship basketball, and then there's times where we play Vols basketball, which is just inconsistent and ugly and whatever. But I think that our defense is championship level defense. I mean, we're like first across the board in a lot of categories, second, third in a lot of categories, but that we just don't have like the one guy that's like in pressure situations. Okay, we're going to give it to him and he's going to make something happen. Like Vescovi, Ziegler, they both shoot pretty good, but that's essentially if they're not necessarily open. But I mean, you kick the ball out to them. If they can catch and shoot in a good spot, they can knock them down. Now, Vescovi, he can hit them with people in his face a little bit more than Ziegler probably can. But, I look at them more like kick out guys, shooting three or like cat type, but like we don't have anybody, really that can penetrate consistently, create shots. I've been saying all year long, I would like to see us dish it down low way more than we have been. But to me, the main takeaways now, Josiah Jordan James, he's been hurt, good chunk of the year. I think he missed like, I don't even know, like 11 of the first 13 or something games. Vescovi, he's kind of been in or out. So, like, we haven't had the full team on the court all year long. So they've kind of struggled a little bit, but I think that all the pieces are there. It's just a matter of arranging them in the right way. I don't know if it's mixing the starting five up based on who we're playing. I don't know if it's, I don't know. But to me, I mean, like I said, I personally would love to see us run the ball through Plotchich more. I mean, I think that from what I've seen today, I mean, he looks pretty good down low. Now, like we've talked about, sometimes on the kickouts outside he struggles, but I just, man, when you dish him the ball, for one, he just draws fouls like a mother. But for two, I just feel like if we start dishing it down low more, then it's going to open up Vescovi and Ziegler and some of those guys that can kind of hit those shots from outside. Because from what I've seen, like they're good, but they can't. When you lock them up and you focus on them, they have problems creating shots. And I feel like that's like one of the biggest things, and that's kind of what happened today. They shut those two down and then we were kind of just, looking elsewhere. But
Yeah. So the good news is, I mean, for as bad as we played and shot, we still won the game. So that's the good news. Like I said, the biggest thing there is going to be the offensive production, and who is it going to be? So we talk about Ziegler and Vescovi. Let's see. Let's read off their shot stat lines here. Vescovi 2 for 7, 2 for 7. Ziegler 0 for 10. So just maybe it's just an off day, bad game, tough loss there early in the week.
well, it's definitely
But
definitely an off. I mean, they've been averaging 10 points or so a game. I mean, Ziegler, he's more of like, he gets some points, but he's more of your assist guy anyways. But I mean, having that extra 20-point cushion, I think definitely hurt us. Now, we had Kamwa stepped up, which he's been playing pretty much lights out, Big O. He had 9 points, which is a little bit, um,
Yeah.
There's some games where he's lights out and there's other games where he struggles. But, we had some guys step up and do what they had to do. But, I don't know if it's just one of those things where it's kind of like the reverse effect, where it's like, Tennessee, like, so Tennessee football is like all offense, no defense, and Tennessee basketball is like all defense and no offense, where they exert so much energy on defense that when they get the ball back on offense, they struggle. Like I said, to me, I'm just more old school. Like if the shots aren't going, then just drive the ball to the basket, try to, either draw a foul, get an easy layup, or kick it back out to the shooters. And I think that if we can get and Ziegler in catch and shoot situations on the edge, I feel like they're going to be a lot better off. But I don't know. I don't know what the formula is going to be. I mean, I personally would like to see some more isolation and stuff, but I don't know that we really have anybody that's going to be good one-on-one taking somebody on. I mean, Josiah Jordan James, he did pretty good today creating shots where, in the past we've kind of I mean, like we've kind of struggled with that. And so I don't know, maybe it's just with his knee being banged up or whatever. But I think that all the right pieces are there. I'm not sure how it needs to be arranged, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think it's all there. I just don't know how they're going to make the pieces fit where they need to fit. And it's to the point now where it's like, okay, we're, it's February, we got a month. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how ugly the season is, right? Like once you make it to the playoffs, like that's really, I mean, like once you hit March Madness, you just got to win the last one. But
yeah, that's correct. I think that the biggest thing, that we have to watch right now is just somebody's gonna have to step up. We don't want to get so we played a bad game Wednesday, and then we played a not too hot game today. We really need to come out. I don't next game we really need to look a lot better. That's kind of that was my real point there. It's just the offense is gonna have to play better because if it doesn't, we're kind of headed on a dangerous slide, in my opinion.
Justin says shooting slumps happen. Defense played well. Credit to Auburn's defense as well. Glad to get the win. A struggle win is a win. That was the kind of the post that I made. But yeah, like I think that the two biggest things that hurt us today was like Vescovi and Ziegler just never really got it rolling. And I mean, we were looking pretty good there late in the second half. There's about like 8 minutes left. They started going on a run and looking real good. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're about to do what we always do. Like Auburn's chunking back, had a pretty crappy turnover there just out of the blue. And then it was like, just it was like it started piling up a little bit. We're like, all right, well, here we go. We're about to screw something up. That's our best move, but I mean, ended up pulling it out. Now, me and you talked about this off air. I would be curious to see what the people that are watching think, but I thought the last play of the game was clearly a foul.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we fouled their shooter, whatever his name was. I got it pulled up. I don't remember if it was Wendell Green Jr. or if it was KD Johnson. But anyways, they get the ball with seconds left. He goes up to shoot it, and I think it was Big O maybe that came in for the block. But I mean, in my opinion, it was a clear cut foul. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, no, just because it's my team. Like, no, it was clear. But I mean, to me, it looked like a clear foul. The announcers called it. They said they thought it was a clear foul. I mean, I thought it was kind of cut and dry. I know you said the same thing. We don't have T-Fiddy on here right now. He may or may not be on here, but I am kind of curious to see what everybody else thinks. Justin said, don't forget, Vescovi has been battling shoulder issues. Not sure his shot is 100% pure right now. Yeah, we did cover that.
Yeah.
I mean, Vescovi's been hurt. Josiah Jordan James is all obviously been hurt. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I mean, we never know what's happening either. I mean, Chris Lofton, his senior year, we're like, my God, what are you doing? What's going on? And then come to find out he had cancer. Like nobody knew it, but it was kind of like, but yeah. So we covered the foul.
Yeah, did you see Coach Pearl's quote after the game?
Ooh, I did not. I think I was still driving at that point.
He made like I saw it on Twitter later, but he said something like when they were asking him, he said, "Yeah, we weren't affected by the environment." And then he, at the end of that, said, "Yes, we, as in our team, was not affected by the environment," implying that the refs were.
Like maybe the refs got a little nervous, whatever.
It's interesting because this is another one of these last second of the game calls, and because it's a penalty, it can't. We don't review that. We're about to go down a rabbit hole about reviews, but to me, it's kind of comparable back to that Kansas City game last weekend that we talked about all week. So it's interesting how these games can really be affected by poor refereeing at the end and the very last second of a game. It is interesting. But
well, now I did hear Rick Barnes in the post game. He basically had said something to the extent of like, I haven't went back and watched the play, so like I don't know for sure. But he basically said like, last week we had a call that didn't go our way, and so like it kind of is what it is. Like sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. Like basically saying like, I don't know, didn't see it. We won, we benefited from it. We had some crappy calls. Like it just kind of is what it is. Like basically like I'm not going to deny it, but I'm not going to, whatever. Like I'm not going to deny it, but I'm also not going to acknowledge it or, whatever.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, it is part of the game. We talked. That was part of that whole replay discussion we had the other day. But it just
talking about the challenge flags.
Well, we don't have that in basketball, but it's just the whole concept now that we have instant replay. I mean, you can get on the internet and watch this thing 1,000 times from 150 different angles because there's 7 million people in there with cell phones.
Right.
And you can see all this stuff, so it definitely puts the refs at a lot more.
Like a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to second guess them, and like we've said, our generation, they're a bunch of losers and complain and think that, we are owed everything. And sometimes we just need to own up and say, hey, it happens and move on. So,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, at the end of the day, obviously, these are human beings out here just trying to do their job and stuff like that. I mean, I guess if it would have been me, I don't know if they just wanted to get out of there before they got their heads ripped off or whatever. I don't know, but I guess if it would have been me, I would have probably tried to review it just from the standpoint of like, hey, let's make sure we got this right. But I mean, because I was kind of sitting there waiting, again, because I mean, like I said, I was watching it live, but I was kind of sitting there waiting, like, okay, are they gonna review it? I guess we're done. Which it was kind of funny because there's a weird moment where Bruce Pearl was like, "What are you doing? What are you? Hey, good game, buddy. Good game. Yeah, you played
yeah.
great. What are you doing? But it was just a
Then
weird finish.
they can't review it, but it does bring up the question of why is it that we have review and we review nonsense, which brings up the whole challenge flag thing. But
Yeah, kind of.
it just kind of it is what it is. It's part of life. But the good news about basketball in comparison to football is we're still good, and they're still good. They're still gonna make the tournament. But two decent teams. So it doesn't ruin their whole season when you have a call like that in regular season. So that's the good news for them.
Yeah. Sorry, I was listening, but I guess I need to go into like silent mode or whatever.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me see if I can try to see if I can like go whatever where it's like it doesn't have my messages popping up all the freaking time. I'm just gonna turn that off. But yeah, I mean, I know we talked about it the other day in football. Like it with the whole challenge thing, it's kind of like I don't even remember what our stance was. I mean, we went off on a pretty. This is just on the phone we were talking, but we went off on a pretty long tangent of like the challenge flags. But we basically were like saying that like they should pretty much just have like a set number that they can use no matter what, right? Or I don't even remember. I know we had a long conversation about it, but
A lot of it was just like how to, you know, first of all, what we were talking about is the fact that college football doesn't have a challenge flag. You have to call a timeout. You don't get it back. We're talking about the difference in the NFL and college. We're talking about how in the NFL, I
yeah,
can
because in
live with the
college,
fact
what was it?
that
You gotta call timeout, like
yeah,
make them look at it or something, but you
yeah,
can only do it within a certain time or something.
yeah. Well, it's you have to burn your timeout and you don't get it back. So it doesn't matter. So you lose the timeout. In the
You're right.
NFL, if you call a challenge and you lose it, then you lose a timeout. But if not, you get it back. What we were talking about is just that like we kind of like the system of the challenge. Well, at least I was saying I like the system of a challenge flag a little bit better than just we're gonna review plays at random because we feel like
Oh
it.
yeah, because we were
Yeah,
basically saying like just do the reviews less, but give the coaches like
yeah,
2 or 3 challenges a half or something, and just kind of be done with it and say, hey, we're gonna keep playing. You got 3 of them or 2 of them or whatever. Throw them if you want. If not, we're gonna keep it rolling. I
yeah,
think that was kind of the
yeah. With our live calls instead of just reviewing every little thing. I mean, but that's just that was my kind of my take on it. Like I think that there's some stuff that just gets reviewed for no reason, and then they clearly miss stuff that doesn't get reviewed. So I kind of but what I was saying about the challenge flag is if you give a coach a challenge flag, they can't go into the locker room saying, "Well, I wish they would have reviewed it if they burnt that if because they had the opportunity and they didn't do it." Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Um, Obviously, that wouldn't matter in this particular case if we're talking about a foul because you can't in basketball. We can't go back and start, video on every maybe should have called a foul play. So,
Well,
uh,
I'm not saying that, but I mean,
yeah,
normally in like the last 2 minutes or whatever, if you have some kind of like, iffy call, like a lot of times they'll go back in and review them or whatever. But,
yeah,
like I said, on that one, I mean, like I said, I don't, and who knows, I mean, if he would have hit the free throws or not. I'm just saying, I'm one of those people, except for when I'm trolling on the interwebs, which when I'm trolling on the interwebs, that's when, alternate Drew comes out and we all know what happens then. But when I'm trolling on the internet, I'll kind of like just say stuff in the form of words and sentences just to get people rolling sometimes. But in real
Yeah.
life, I try to keep it like fair and balanced. Like I don't want to be one of those people that's like, well, whatever it is, what it is, haha. It's like, okay, that probably should have been a foul, which we both said, but it was just, I don't know, it was weird. It was a very hard fought game. That was the lowest scoring win that the Tennessee Volunteers have had since 1984. So it's a very weird, uncharacteristic type game. Like I said, I love just defensive battles where they're out there just duking it out. I love games like that. I know it's not super fun to watch for a lot of people, but like, obviously I'd rather a score more, but it, like I said, it's funny because the basketball and the football teams reverse. We're
Yep.
on football. It's like, we're just going to score and you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to outscore us. Where in the basketball, it's like, well, we're not gonna let you score, so we may only put up 16 points, but if you only put up 12, then So I don't know. It's definitely weird, but you know, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break. We will come right back after this. This sponsored message. Like I said, in the meantime, if you hadn't already, click subscribe. We'll be right back. So there'll be an ad right there. There's not one right now, though.
Yeah. You're good. Did you write the time down?
Ooh, see, this is why you're a good co-host,
You
Casper.
really can help
By
your
the way,
editing. Hurry up.
chats, the chat messages, where am I at? 41. We'll say 41 and a half ish. First break.
Yeah.
I will probably throw a little shout out for you in there.
Oh,
By the way, guys, if you guys are watching this on the interwebs, now would be a good time to get in on the chats. We are still here. We're just taking a brief intermission. On the podcast, there will be an ad playing right here, right now. Not so much here, but in this general area, you won't be able to see any of this. So I can still see your messages. Casper can see your messages. TikTok, sorry, but you are not in the feed with everybody else. That is why your chats are not showing up. I could try to work I could try to work your chats in, but if I do that, it's going to literally show my entire TikTok page, and we can't be having that.
Yeah. But we'll read them.
Yeah, we're working on it. That's why we're trying to do the screen share stuff. Okay, so probably go.
By the way, Marty Truex is starting dead last. Just want to let you know that.
Oh, he's going to come from behind.
He's not starting that far back.
He's going to come from behind. He's just like a freaking thief in the night, man. He's going to come from behind. Rodney Wild joined. What's up? We can still see y'all's messages. I know you might think that we're ignoring you, but we're not. But let me see here. So I'm thinking, do we want to go? I say we go NFL, maybe come back around to college football. So we can talk about Brady retiring, or do we want to go into the Southern Shock thing yet? Maybe that we can lead that into next year.
Yeah. So
I might just come out swinging, and
we can go ahead and hit all the Tennessee stuff right off the rip, and then go into the other stuff.
Almost kind of like breaking it up a little bit, though. Like I don't want to do like 45 Tennessee.
This is your show. I'm just living in it, buddy.
I'm just living in it, baby.
Yeah, girl.
Get it, girl. I really wish I could screen share, but YouTube's gonna shut me down again. Can't be doing that.
Oh, you're talking about Kentucky and Florida?
Yeah, I got Kentucky's up 37-30 on Florida right now, by God.
I bet that's in the first half. No, it's in the second. Oh, wow.
So another defensive game.
I mean, somebody's gonna break 50. Probably both of them's gonna break 50. So that's good.
All I'm doing is I've got my notes pulled up. I'm just kind of arranging them.
Yeah, you're good. I was updating some notes on mine. Yo, Handyman 7694. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate that. We are taking a brief intermission. Now, my other software has all the screens and stuff like loaded in to where I could put like a be back in 5 minutes or something right now. But
Yeah. That's the one that I couldn't get to work the other day.
yeah, that's the one we were having technical difficulty. Although technically I could probably use it because I do have a separate mic. It's not as good as this one, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you do you, boo.
Do you, boo boo? Yeah, we'll just kind of see where life takes us, I guess, on this next segment.
Sounds good.
Will the Vols win today? We should have probably done a segment on will the Vols. How far will they go
For basketball.
into the tournament? Yep.
We can save it for next time. It's a little
Saving
early
it for
still.
next time.
It's a little early still. I wouldn't want. I'm like I can't say yet. I really want to see. So we're at Vandy on Wednesday, and then we have Missouri at home next Saturday.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got Alabama, Kentucky. So, you know, these next four is going to say a lot. We really need to win the next two automatic, and then you know, we do not want to go into Alabama after a loss. I can tell you that.
I agree with you there. Trying to take. Did LeBron break the record today?
I don't think so. I think he had to score like 80 something points, but
Okay.
I'm sure he's still playing. I'll look it up.
No, it's over.
Oh,
I
is
doubt
it?
he put up 80 though.
I think that I saw that he had to put up 80. Did you see those tickets were going for like what was
Like
it, $90,000?
yeah, or
He
70,000.
is 36 points away.
He's 36 away, so he might hit
36
that on the
away.
next one.
They're playing the Thunder on Tuesday. So yeah, that'll probably be it right there. If I had to guess.
Do we want to throw in anything else about? I was going to throw in some Brady, Brady NFL stuff. Oh, we can talk about the Super Bowl.
Is that somebody with a dirt car on their profile picture up here in the corner on TikTok? If you are, please leave a comment.
Oh, JP_787.
Okay, I know who that is.
Was that one of your peeps?
Oh yeah,
is that
that's one of my peeps.
Is that
JP. Yeah.
Is that some of your bloodline?
That's Rocky Top Race Raps right there.
I
Shout
have
out, son.
You already know. Damn, I already climbed to number 2 on the feed. Yeah, we're taking a slight brief intermission right now. We're just getting some things lined up. Feel free to keep chatting, guys. I know I'm not trolling and doing some of the stuff I normally do, but I'll be honest with you, TikTok is I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole again because I just got back on YouTube. Probably don't need to open up my mouth about TikTok.
Wait, are we on YouTube today?
Yeah, we're back on YouTube.
Hell yeah!
I know, right? It
Hello,
feels good.
YouTube. We missed you last week. We're glad to be back on YouTube.
We really did.
I didn't get it kicked off YouTube, just for the record.
No, that was all me. I never said it wasn't anybody but me. The things that I say sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
JP78, you should probably not be watching this right now. Don't you have more important things to be watching?
I mean, are they still qualifying? Did I miss
No, we do have 2 dirt late models, super late model features going on right now. Like literally right now.
So there's at least 11 more people that might be watching that.
Yeah, probably about that.
Because 2 of them's on here. 2 of the 13. Just kidding.
Don't worry, the 2 of the 13 are both still watching. You can be guaranteed of that.
So I think I've got a good layout here.
All right.
I kind of half did it, and then we got rolling, and then I looked, and I'm like, none of my usual peeps are on here, because I mean, I normally roll till like 2 or 3 in the morning. This whole 9 to 12 thing, I think, is throwing people off a little
What
bit.
time do you usually get started?
9, but I normally go like 9 to 3, so people just kind of hop on whenever. Normally it starts popping later, but I gotta get better about doing the 9 to 12 thing, and then just rolling for whenever I feel like it. But
Yeah.
I think I've got. Okay, I think I got a nice little thing. By the way, guys, we're about to get rolling again. We are recording a podcast. If you want to listen to the podcast, well, right there it says Big Ladrewski, but down at the bottom, Little Tangerine Show. That is the name of the podcast. Be sure to check it out. We are everywhere that you can get podcasts. Casper, my co-host, the Friendly Ghost, right here. If you like racing, he's got one. It's called
Caution Flag Confessionals.
Caution Flag Confessionals. Dude, I've made fun of the name so much that it's like my
I thought
brain
about
doesn't.
changing it just for you.
No, you can't now.
No, I'm not changing. I'm locked in. I like Caution
Your
Flag.
your mic does sound better now.
I told you I put some work in.
Your bro needs to do like a logo though, of like an outline of your face with the mic like this though, because that's become a thing now.
I like to use my microphone, ladies.
It should. I mean, it should literally be.
You know?
It should be like a picture of you just like with this, with the
But
outline.
doesn't this shit sound good though?
It sounds way better for sure.
Oh yes, it does.
Chris Watson joined. We're about to get rolling again. Okay, so yeah, I got a nice flow. Hey, at least we're 10 o'clock and we've already started. That's we're getting better.
Yep. Especially considering I'm on baby duty.
Have you seen any T-Fiddy sightings? I hadn't been looking at all.
No,
To be honest with you.
nothing. If there is, I'm gonna absolutely rip him a new one. So I'll take care of that for you.
You'll be the muscle. Okay. All right. Game face. Oh wait, do I need any more alcohol?
Dude, you haven't slept enough to be drinking and doing a podcast, bro.
I'll be sleeping so good tonight, son. I made it all the way to Memphis, back, no bullet holes, baby. It was nice. Oh,
Was there protesters?
no, I mean it was pretty chillax. Where I went smelled, I mean, just reeked of weed. That is not. I mean, that's not even. That's not even me being funny. Like, it's honest to God, the truth. Like, I hopped out of my vehicle and was like, "Ooh, is Willie Nelson in town?" Damn. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get rolling again. Hey guys, what is up? Big Drewski here with my co-host Casper, the co-host, the Friendly Ghost.
What up?
What up? Welcome back to segment numero dos. Still no T-Fiddy sighting, so we're just going to go ahead and rule him out for tonight's episode. Getting into just general sports, I'm a casual NASCAR fan again now. Got out of it because of the corporate stuff, got a little messy there. Not quite as, outlawish as it used to be, but Casper's getting me back into it. So, but just get into some general sports stuff. LeBron is chasing the record. I think we've been over this, but are you team MJ? Are you team LeBron? Team Kobe? What team are you on?
Not team LeBron, by God.
I mean,
I'm probably team MJ still at this point. Although I will say the farther, and I, RIP, but the farther we get from Kobe, the more I'm like, damn, dude, that man's a baller.
Yeah, well, I mean, he'll tell
the work
you.
ethic, man. Like, it's the work ethic. That's the thing about about Kobe. You know?
He'll tell you though there is no Kobe without MJ. Like MJ took him under his wing. Like like there's been
Yeah.
so much footage where he's admitted like, dude, if it wasn't for MJ, like you'd have
Yeah.
no Kobe. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, good for LeBron. You know, he's playing for forever. You know, I mean, the longevity. You know, I will say, I guess, to play devil's advocate, like. And I said this to some people the other day, and they got really worked up. But best all around athlete ever, I would say, is probably LeBron from the standpoint of like he can play pretty much any position on the court. He could probably play baseball. He probably could have played football. I don't know that he could have fit in a race car or anything. Probably couldn't have been a jockey though, because you know it's kind of hard to get a good running start when your feet's dragging the ground. But I mean, like, as far as like all the other sports, though, he's
Yeah.
probably the most well-rounded athlete ever. But it's like when you're talking about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, you kind of have to look at all of it. And I just don't know that. I mean, I Kobe would be rolling over in his grave. I feel like, with all due respect, if he seen like one of his teammates or somebody just like walk off the court in the middle of the playoffs. Like I will never forget that. Like I don't care how much you're
MJ
down
would
by.
as well, just for the record too.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean, if that was like, I feel like if LeBron played for the Bobcats or whatever, like MJ would have packed his stuff and just sent him back to, you know, where's he from? Akron, Kettering. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, to put LeBron up there, but like I said, if LeBron, you know, I'm not going to get political or anything, but if he would have just continued to play basketball, I think he would have a chance. But
Yeah, I
he
mean
didn't do
that
So,
definitely hurt him. But like I think back to some of the series early on where he is like he didn't want the ball in high pressure situations. I mean, he finally got it
yeah,
figured out and stuff. But
yeah,
you know, to this day, I mean, and I could be wrong because I've not looked it up in a few months, but to this day, MJ still has more game winning shots than anybody, like actual buzzer beaters. Like I think he's got like 9, and I think Damian Lillard has like 7 or 8 or something, but still to this day has more like actual letting go of the ball, it's in the air, drops in, like game winning shots than anybody else. But I mean,
yeah.
like I grew up watching them both, and to me, I'm like, it's just not even close. But speaking of goats, we're gonna pivot.
Okay.
This is what's called a segue. I'm
Mhm.
getting better at these. Okay,
Yeah.
the goat has retired, the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, in my opinion, I think Casper feels the same way, but he's retired for good this year. Have you seen the jars?
Yeah,
You
for like
seen
$25,000 on eBay.
of sand?
You know, since we're talking about that real quick, somebody's going to prison for that. You do know that, right? Somebody is going to prison for that because you cannot sell that. You know,
What,
so
environmental stuff?
yeah, oh yeah, dude, they'll have them buried.
Are we sure though? Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure my
yeah,
mom has bought copious amounts of like sand from Myrtle Beach in like little mason jars over the years.
yeah. But that probably was for like $3. Nobody cared, and they weren't posting on
So
eBay.
it's
Like,
the amount. So
it,
they're trying to get him of like
well,
desecration of be. I say him. I don't know why I said
yeah,
him.
whoever
But
it is, they're gonna get it, and then they're gonna be like, well, we'll take all that money and then everything else you have, you greedy. Yeah, I don't know.
I
TV
mean, you know,
show, you greedy
I
person.
I mean, I'm trying to not cuss, but I mean, it kind of is
Yeah,
what it is. By the way,
you
do you remember
greedy
what
bitch,
time?
quit. That's what I'm trying to say. And I mean, it's same thing like the people that was ripping grass out of football fields this year that got arrested. Same shit. I mean,
For the record, that lady looked exactly like I pictured.
yeah, same,
I
hundred
mean,
percent, 100%. You're from here,
I
right?
yeah, I mean, when I first heard of that or heard about that story, I already had the picture in my head, and she really just fit all of them. Everything that I could have possibly imagined.
Yeah,
But
100%.
yeah, I mean, you've always got people like that. But no, I did not know about the whole. like I said, I guess because it was so expensive thing. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, it can't be legal. It's one of those. Just because it's never been prosecuted before doesn't mean it won't be now. And once it makes national news, it is what it is. But yeah, so the GOAT Tom Brady is retiring. That's the good news. I think it's time.
Just for the record, I mean, I don't want him to be the GOAT. I grew up despising him, and I think we've talked about this, but like, had he not went down to Tampa, you always would have kind of wondered, like, was it Bill Belichick? Was it Gronk? But I mean, well, I guess he took Gronk with him, but the fact that he went down to Tampa and got another one, it's like, oh my God, dude. He's got 90% of the records. I mean, I don't, there's no point in me pulling the stats up because, like, he's got all of them pretty much. But, when you look at the stats, you look at the records, the Super Bowls, which, or I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. We've got someone in our circle who, is very high on Aaron Rodgers. What up, Ed? Ed said, "What's up?"
This guy's what's up, Ed.
Ed is like one of my favorite reoccurring people that gets on here.
Ed, you're the man.
Shout out to Ed and shout out to Ryan.
Ed and Ryan.
Oh, Dirty Max 02. By the time, this podcast airs, he's going to be probably changed his username already. But yeah, you guys are a couple of my faves. I've got some faves that hop on here quite a bit. But yes, no, I didn't want Brady to be the GOAT. He looks like an Abercrombie model. His hair's perfect. I don't know how he chipped that just perfectly sculpted dimple right here in the middle of his chin. Kind of looks like, Clef the Boy Chin Wonder. His teeth are immaculate. I mean, going back to the whole Will Levis thing, I mean, he looks phenomenal while he's throwing the ball, except he actually, does stuff with it when he throws the ball. But I mean, I didn't want Brady to be the GOAT, but I just don't see how you can argue with it. I mean, there's people that say, no, QBR is the only way. That's the only way But I mean,
I think you nailed it on your podcast earlier this week about that whole thing, though. Like, greatest and then greatest of all time and then best in position is two different things. And he's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest one to play football.
I mean,
any position,
greatest mobile quarterback of all time. You could probably say like Michael Vick or maybe Lamar Jackson. Best or
not a greatest.
Most accurate quarterback. You could probably say Rodgers if you chopped it off before this year.
Hopefully he'll play another year or two, then we don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah, that way we can ride that dip since we ain't got Devontae to make us look good anymore.
Yeah. He's going. No. Did you hear though? Well, sorry, that's later in the show. But yeah,
I mean, what is it?
I guess he was at a golf tournament today, or maybe it's some old
Rodgers
clip.
or Devontae.
Rodgers, and it was on. I think it was on CBS Sports Network from the clip I saw, and they were talking to him like, "So where are you going?" And he's like, "Well, all these people out here keep saying Devontae misses me, and there's a lot of Rangers fans out here trying to get me to go there, and we're having some fun with it." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, he knows he needs Devontae to make him look good. He's like, yo, bro, let me try to squeak out another 20 mil. Just give me one more year.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that,
I mean, I think you can look at people. By the way, what up, cousin? I just looked at the username on that one, but yeah, like I think you can look at certain people and be like, oh, they're the best at this, they're the best at that. But like when you look at someone, you say they're the best at quarterbacking. You can't just say mobile, accuracy, wins, postseason. Like you have to kind of look at all of it. Like Dan Marino, great quarterback, but then like you look at the postseason and it's like, and I'm not saying that like, that's all that matters, but I just think you have to look at all of it. Like, yeah, Vinatieri got a few Brady did a pretty good amount of work at times. Then he goes down to Tampa, who used to suck. We used to make fun of them. Now all of a sudden they're good again. I mean, if he never would have went down to Tampa, I would have been like, it's Belichick or it's Gronk
Yeah.
or whatever. But when the man
Well, I
goes
think me
down
and
to
you have both said like it's not like we liked Tom Brady before. Like I still don't like Tom Brady, but I respect him, and it was great to watch him play. Right? Like that's where
yeah,
we're
I
both
mean,
at.
but it just gets to the point where you just gotta sit back and watch it, and be like, I mean, it is what it is, and like I've never hit that point with LeBron. Going back to that discussion, like watching Michael, it was like Michael Jordan is like you know what you're seeing in front of you. It's just, and I'm not saying LeBron's not great. It's just when you look at the greatest of all time, man, like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just a whole
Yeah.
different thing. But speaking of that, oh well, sorry, did you have another point?
No,
Speak now or forever hold your beef.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm just gonna hit you with it. You ready?
Yeah.
Is the NFL rigged?
All right, so we're gonna have to do some definitions here, because I've been doing since our conversation
This
yesterday. I did a little bit more research on the internet.
This
So
has
let
been a
me,
hot button
yeah.
topic.
So
I have to bring it up.
yeah, no,
So
I think it has to be discussed if you have a sports show and you're talking about football. Okay, I don't think football. So there's two words here that I've seen used on the internet. Two, just two, not one, but two. So the first word that I keep seeing is scripted. It's not WWE. It's not scripted. So no, I do not think it is scripted. Okay, do you hear that? Everybody heard that? Do you agree?
I
Not
mean,
scripted. They don't hand
I
out the
don't
script this beginning of
I
the
don't
year and
think
say this is
it's
what's going to happen.
like I don't think it's like WWE
Yeah.
where they're like, okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna win and you're gonna lose and you're gonna twist your ankle at the 35 with 7 minutes left. Like I don't think it's scripted from like that standpoint.
Now the word number two for those of you who are watching, the one that we're talking about is rigged, as in Donald Trump's favorite word, rigged. Okay. By that we mean that altering the outcome preferably, but not writing the play. We're not writing the play. We're pushing it on course.
Yeah,
A little bit.
so I don't think it's like you said, I don't think it's scripted from where it's like, this, and this, and this is going to happen. I do, however, think, like you said, I think that the NFL probably talks with the refs or whoever and says either A, okay, we like I don't know if there's and again this is all speculation. I don't have any kind of inside information, but I think that there's times where, like, for instance, if you have like a Rodgers in the Packers or a Brady in New England or a Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, when you have a team like that going up against, like, maybe they just had somebody get hurt or whatever and they're in the wild card, and then you got this one team that just kind of lucked in there. I think that there's probably some type of conversation that's like, obviously we would prefer this team to win. They're a little bit more, whatever. But I definitely think, bare minimum, that there's times where they pick opportunities to where, like, for instance, I mean, the only reason we're talking about this is that stupid Chiefs game, right? Chiefs versus, who was it? The
Yeah.
Bengals.
Yeah.
You have the play where Patty Mahomes is running out to the end, which I looked at the one play. No, I didn't watch that game. I watched the previous one. I didn't watch that one. To me, I understand why they called that play, because he was already kind of clearly going out of bounds, protect the quarterback, all that. But you were saying there were some other questionable calls earlier in the game that was like, okay, you called that, but why didn't you call this? Right?
Yeah. So, for me, it was more than just a one play. I know you said you didn't get to watch, but there's also you had the intentional grounding call that went against the Bengals that was clearly like just. I mean, there is a guy right there, and he got sacked as he was throwing the ball. Like it was on the way. That's pretty bad. There's also roughing the passer that they should have called against Kansas City, that they missed there at the end of that game. And they didn't call that roughing the passer. And if you can find that clip, you don't have to right now, but go back and watch it later. That if you compare that clip of that no call to the late hit out of bounds, they're very, very, very similar, and both clearly after probably when there should have been contact, if that makes sense. But similar force, similar fall. So yeah. But so back to your whole thing about it, maybe they talked to the NFL. I don't even know that they talked to the NFL. I think that part of it is just like, referees aren't perfect. I think they're influenced by who's supposed to be good and who is good and all that kind of thing. What I do?
Nothing. I
Okay.
was just saying, hey,
Um,
peeps. But no, I mean, like you said, I think. Well, okay, another example, right? Like, kind of just adding to what you're talking about. I'm a Titans fan, so there's. I mean, I'm just Tennessee, right? But like, so I tried to not be what's the word? Not like preferential, but kind of preferent. Like, what's the word
try to
when
be
I try to
dominating.
be in the middle on
Yeah,
stuff?
biased. You're not trying to be biased.
Yeah, biased. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running on low sleep right now, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to not be biased because it's like, okay, I'm a Titans fan, but like, dude, the end of that game, the Josh Dobbs hit slash fumble, quote unquote, whatever. I mean, prime example. It's like, okay, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm a Titans fan, but like, I'm 100% sure his arm was going forward. It's like, I just feel like there's times, and again, the Titans started off really good, then they wasn't doing so hot. And I'm trying to remember who they were playing, um, which is escaping me now.
Yeah, I don't know. I apologize.
I don't remember if it was, I mean, I could go back and look it up, but I don't remember who they were playing. Um, but anyways, I think there's just times where they're not necessarily. I think there might be times where they're kind of saying, "Hey, we kind of prefer this team to win," but then there's also times where I think they're just trying to get a preferential like outcome. So like the Chiefs game, I don't necessarily know that the NFL benefits any better or worse from having Burrow and his like, sparkling blue eyes and like, whatever his hair and all that. Like I don't know. I mean, if they benefit any better from having him in the playoffs versus Patty Mahomes, who also has great hair, or Patty versus, like I think
Yeah.
the teams are somewhat interchangeable. I think in that situation, they were just basically saying, hey, you know what? Like, it would be that much better if you could set up a game winning field goal because that ending is more dramatic. Like, I don't think that they were trying to swing it towards the Chiefs. I think they were just, because it's like naturally taking a kneel to end the game is not going to be nearly as dramatic as a game winning field goal.
Oh, well, but I mean, it wasn't a deal. I mean, so it was a tie game, and they kicked a field goal to break the tie. Like they could have gone to overtime. So maybe, but
Yeah.
like I said, I just feel like there's preferential treatment given to certain players, maybe if nothing else. At a bare minimum, there's that. There's been that for years, though, particularly in basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear about that in basketball a lot, but
Rasheed
football's been
Wallace
the same
back in the
way.
day.
Yeah.
He was kind of. I mean, even they were talking about that today. In the Vols game, even Blachich.
Yeah.
They said he's got like a reputation. There's that one where they said he was taunting the guy when he was basically just like looking at him,
Yeah.
or whatever. But guys get reputations all the time. Indomitius Sue's another one. He got kind of a reputation for just being an a-hole, and so it was like any little thing he did, they were throwing flags and whatever. But
Well, that's because he's the dirtiest player in the NFL. Piss
yeah, I mean
generation.
he is, but I think he tried to walk it back a little bit. But I mean, but it's one of those things like, yeah, he's a dirty player, but he's not always technically in the wrong. But when
Yeah.
you know what I mean, when you pick up a rep, though. By the way, that game was versus the Jaguars, I'm pretty sure, because
Okay.
again, Trevor Lawrence, great head of hair. Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence's silky smooth Pantene fresh hair, or would you rather have Josh Dobbs, who, you know, has no eyebrows, super slick. I mean, like super smart dude, but it's like the marketability there. I feel like that's there sometimes. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
So no,
Super
the
Bowl.
NFL is not rigged, by the way, but
You said
it
it's not
is.
rigged.
I don't think it's rigged, but I think that it's
Skewed.
yes.
Is that a good
I
word?
don't- yeah,
Skewed.
yeah. Influenced. Let's say influenced. I think influence is the word. I think it's
Oh
influence.
man, influencers that's one of those words that makes me cringe. It's like
Just because you want to be one, okay?
no, I don't like that term. It's like I've had people tell me before, like, no, we consider ourselves a fan of yours. I'm like, don't call yourself a fan. That makes me feel weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. But the whole influencer, I don't like that term because you're implying that like you're openly, in my opinion, you're openly implying that you can manipulate other people. You can influence their decision. I just don't like that word. Um, I don't know, brand ambassador. I don't know. I don't know what word sounds better, but I don't like that word.
That's fair. That's fair. I forgive you.
Super Bowl predictions.
Oh,
Are we
hell.
both team Eagles? Do we want to take
Like
that
4
hard
and 4
stance?
predicting.
I mean, not like I mean, I don't really care either way. My Titans are out, but I'm thinking that the Eagles will probably win. I mean, that's just kind of
So-
my prediction, I guess you would say.
I kind of was until I talked to T-Fiddy yesterday, and I think I'm full in on Chiefs now and the
Yeah,
over.
really, what did he say that swung you?
Well, you're talking about the fact that the only reason that I would have picked the Eagles is Mahomes' ankle, and 2 weeks off. I think he'll be ready to go. That's pretty much it. I mean, you know. Also, I do want to throw out the one college football stat that is interesting. Jalen Hurts did never get it done. Just to let you know that. Did not ever get it done.
He watched other people get it done, though.
Right.
I thought
So
he won one though when
he's the
he
second
was
stringer at
starting.
Philadelphia. I mean, he won one and he did start the game, but he got pulled for Tua.
I was thinking there's a year. I thought there was like he went twice or something though. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be high, but I was thinking
I
that
mean, I don't
there's.
think you're high. I don't think he went twice though, that I know of. But
I might have to look that up. I'm not.
he
I
didn't
just
start.
no. I know he got pulled, and then Tua
Yeah.
came in, and the rest was kind of history. But
Did he go to one with Oklahoma? I don't think so.
no, he didn't go with Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts is good, but I mean,
No, the
Chiefs
only
been
one they
there.
got was 2017. I think it was when he got pulled.
Chiefs been there, done that. That's my biggest thing. Chiefs
The
been there,
Eagles
done that.
have been there and done that though, just not with Hurts.
Not with that team. It's been
But
a
they
while.
got Derek Barnett, former Vol for life.
VFL baby. Like I said, I don't listen. I like Chiefs as a team. But there's one person in my life that's been a past in my life that was an employer of mine, and he really loves the Chiefs, and it makes me just want the Chiefs to lose. Love the guy. He's actually a really great guy, but I just really I
Is he one
enjoy
of
how much
those
pain
super
and
nice
agony he
guy?
gets
But
out of
he,
Kansas City losing football games. It's very enjoyable.
I mean, I feel you. That's how I am with the Packers. They've done nothing wrong to me personally, but it's just the people that are surrounding me
Yeah.
that are Packers fans are what make it
Well,
unbearable.
he's not like an obnoxious person per se. He just he's all about the Chiefs, and like he's miserable when they lose. It ruins his whole life. Like it's worse than you would have felt when we lost South Carolina. Like it's bad. It's bad.
We don't talk about that school. It's
The
awful.
Cox.
The school that cannot be named.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, my bad.
I don't know why I have Tom Brady retiring twice on my show notes, but I mean that's I guess that's kind of where we're at. So
Because he did retire twice. Oh,
he did retire twice. I
Quick
know where you're
stat.
going with this, and I love every
Because
second of
stats do matter.
it.
For
I
those of
know
you
where
that
you're
are
going.
Aaron Rodgers whack-offs, I just want you to know that. Tom Brady has now retired more times than Aaron Rodgers has won the Super Bowl. And for some reason, Aaron Rodgers has actually considered retiring more times than Tom Brady.
That's interesting.
I mean, do we
I love
give
that. I love that
what
stat.
award can we give Rodgers for being the just complete
What's that award that they give
jackass of the
for like
month
the
award?
really terrible actors?
I don't know.
I forgot what it's called, but there's some award that they give to like
I
the
have
worst
no
song of the year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is the third year in a row of this crap. I'm glad I'm not a Packer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't have anything against Rodgers as a person or the Packers as a whole. It's just the people that I have surrounded around me have made me just despise everything that has to do with anything of the Packers. It just is what it is. But yeah, so we're going to take our next break. Coming back, we're going to get back into a little bit of college football and some more Vols stuff. We had to take a little bit of a break. Didn't want to do too big of a segment just on the Vols, so we had to kind of break it up a little bit. But we are going to take a short break, and then we will get back after it. Don't go anywhere. Big Drewski and Casper, little tangerine show, baby. Okay. So that's where are we at? An hour.
1 hour and 21 minutes.
We're still making pretty good time compared to what we normally do. 1:21.
Yeah. She also the kid is officially down, and she's going to bed, so it's officially on me now.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
just
gonna
want you to know that I
ride off into the
volunteered for
sunset.
2 nights in a row to be on your show because that's how much I like you, Big Drewski.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'm gonna be up tomorrow night recording my podcast because that has to release after the race. And the race don't start till 8:00. But
Chris and Becky Ware, I seen you slip in there, Chris. DJ Hootie Hoo, I seen you slip on in there. The TikTok messages are delayed, by the way, but Ed, I think Ed's still holding it down in here. Oh yeah, Big Drew, DJ Hootie Hoo in the house. Oh yeah. We're technically recording a podcast, but we are live streaming. Do we got any more Ball for Lives in here? I think everybody's kind of, from what I've seen, everybody's checking in and checking out. I think it's, during football season, people just don't want to stay up and talk about football quite as much, but it's all good. If we can get the stream key for TikTok before we get there, we'll be in the money. Oh, you in Tennessee? Nice. I actually went to Memphis and back today. Fairview. I just drove through there earlier, as a matter of fact. Brought back some good memories and some bad ones.
Where's Fairview?
It's like on the other side of Nashville,
Oh.
just past Dixon, I think, if you technically know where that's
Okay.
at.
I know where Dixon is, so that makes sense.
I pulled into a Lowe's today, made me think of you.
Where at?
Lebanon, because that was where
Been there, done that.
that was where the Whataburger was.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know they had one in Lebanon now.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it was Lebanon. It was exit.
You sure it wasn't Hendersonville?
It was exit 238.
Yeah, I don't know. They're building a few of them up there now.
But yeah, it was literally like on the edge of the parking lot where Lowe's was at, which was nice. Mm-hmm. Heading to Pennsylvania. You're right. Ooh, yeah, I used to make that run all the time when I was at Colonial. 81 up and back, baby. That's all I did for like a year. Ooh, you gotta stop at Bandit Truck Stop and get you a Philly cheesesteak and some cheesecake. Ooh, Melissa's back. Oh, we're about to get orange and white in the feed.
Oh yeah.
We're on our second break right now. We're getting some chit-chatting and all that stuff. We're about to do another little Vols semi-deep dive, if you will. Looking like Kentucky might go number 2 in the SEC. Talking about basketball. They're talking about, oh, yeah, there's orange and white. Melissa fell to 3rd place, though. DJ Hootie Hoo's done slid on up the list. I don't know if that has to do with comments or watch time or what that stuff is. By the way, the screen that I'm on doesn't show GIFs or anything, But for any of y'all that sent gifts or likes or anything like that, I appreciate that. I always appreciate it. I never ask for it, but I always appreciate it. Casper appreciates it too, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with him.
If it makes Big Drew happy, it makes me happy.
It does make me happy. See?
My prediction just won a dirt race that I predicted on my podcast. I'm pretty much
I got
a winner.
money in on Elliott and Marty Truex Jr. tomorrow, just so you know. $5 each. Big rolling.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
win
I mean,
one,
Kentucky. I mean, dude, the Vols. That's one thing I meant to talk about earlier on the air was, dude, the Vols. We win against the hard teams and we lose to the unranked SEC teams. But Kentucky had our number and Florida had our number this year.
yeah.
DJ Hootie Hoo is one of my former students from Louisville, Kentucky. So me and him,
Great town.
we get along pretty good because he's a Cardinal.
Oh, okay.
So there's no conflicting issues, but he likes to mix like hip hop, but like with country music, but not in a annoying kind of like trashy kill two genres at the same time kind of way.
Florida Georgia line.
Yeah, well, like Florida Georgia Line, there's some country rappers that are just garbage. That every time they come on, I'm just kind of like, because it's either some of it is like trap music, but they're like rapping about tractors, and it's like, how are you obliterating two genres at the same time? Like it just makes it terrible.
You should do some live DJ mixes on TikTok. I'd be down to watch that. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Chris and Becky.
He's got some videos out, although he's doing a wedding or something the other day. They clipped one of his the video was up, but it clipped the audio because I guess he was playing the other person's song or whatever. Trap some Johnny Cash. Think I might start doing live DJ mixes on TikTok. Yeah, I'd watch it.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right.
You know what you ought to do? I think I gave you this idea before, DJ Hootie Hoo, but you need to do a Dolly Parton Working 9 to 5 and a Rihanna Work remix. Mash the two together. So it'd be like, working 9 to 5. Work. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty balls. Be pretty balls. I don't know why I said pretty balls. My brain is just absolutely fried.
Definitely a strange thing to say.
Oh, too bad that I don't know. I might figure out a way to work that segment in. That might be the lead into the break.
The pre-ball balls.
The break. Pretty balls. 9 to 5 with Jay-Z. Ooh, that sounds good. By the way, what time frame are you on?
I'm ready to get this thing fired back up whenever you're ready to go.
Well, I mean, like, are you trying to hop off at 11 or?
Not exactly. I'm just like, baby.
You said you're.
I don't know how long the baby's gonna make it. Whenever he gets up, I'm going. So.
Yeah. I'd say this will probably be the last stretch. I was just trying to chit chat with my peeps before we get rolling again.
No, yeah, you're good. Honestly, I mean, hopefully he's gonna sleep till like 1. But yeah, I'm trying to be off here like by 11:30 at the latest.
Yeah, nah, we shouldn't. I mean, this last segment, I'd say we'll probably run through fairly quick. TJ's really missing out on some good debates, though. Just don't even say it. Just don't even say it.
See, the thing about it is he's driving his dad's truck right now, so he might actually had a date because he's not driving a $2,000 Teggy.
Well, he doesn't have a choice right now, though, because Teggy's in the shop.
Because he owns 4 trucks and a car, and they're all broke down. Yeah.
You still awake in there?
Ivy.
Oh, I'm here. Never mind. I'm hearing my own voice. Jolene versus Jay-Z. I'm New York. New York. By the way, guys, make sure you. Let me see. How do I? In the bottom right corner of the screen there. Yeah, see, it's not as easy as it looks. Check out the Print Depot or the Depot Print House. That's one of my sponsors. They do awesome work, custom hand drawn designs. They actually hooked me up. I don't know if I got it within reach. I was gonna probably add a video to the podcast, just a pre-done video. But yeah, they do awesome screen printing, located in Powell, Tennessee. Make sure you check them out. They got some good stuff. Good stuff. Conway Lay You Down versus Zap. Sounds pretty good. To the 4 people that's watching, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Make sure I got it all. I may or may not even get to that. We kind of covered one of these a couple episodes ago, but I think we could probably hit on it again. Ooh, I did forget. I'm glad I wrote that back in. Some of these I'm not giving you ahead of time, just so.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I like it. It's more fun, or
more gooder.
Yeah, I'm good with it. It's a good time whenever I just crack off at the hit.
Yeah, you gotta have a little spontaneity. Okay, so 131. 38. By the way, guys, feel free to continue to type messages. We may not be able to respond right away, but we're going to be getting back into this now. If you're hopping in later and you missed some of it, I don't know why I'm looking at this screen. I guess because TikTok's on this screen, but technically they're all right here. I had to check in. Appreciate the plug. Find me at everything DJ Hootie Hoo and YouTube. Yeah, y'all check him out. Pretty good DJ. In the greater Knoxville / Eastern Kentucky area, if you need a wedding DJ or just you're doing a bonfire somewhere, hit him up for sure. Let me see here. I'm trying to get. Let me make sure. I'm trying to, take my own advice, but also listen to you about marking my breaks here. Where we at?
Oh, you're good, brother.
32. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back to the Little Tangerine Show. Your host, Big Drewski, your co-hostess with the mostest, Casper the Ghostest, to my left, y'all's right. We are back from our second segment. Got to do a little chit-and-chatting with everybody on the interwebs. Welcome to all y'all that are watching live. If you want to catch up on anything that you missed, just click the link tree in my bio, or you can go to the link tree, linktr.ee/Big Ladrewski. Boom! Promos out of the way. All right, awesome. Now, man, this is devastating news for me. Okay, so it's your story. I'm gonna cue it up, tee it up, whatever. Then you can come in with the swipe. But those of you who have watched me from the beginning, just for the record, I was screaming, Vols all the way, baby, all year long. Nobody believed me that we were going to win, 8+ games this year. All year long, my tradition, every single Friday, game day eve for my followers, you know what it is. Every Friday, I go to Bohonglace and I get me a biscuit. Now the biscuit's interchangeable. Sometimes it's bacon, egg, and cheese. Sometimes it's Cajun chicken filet. But I go to Bojangles, aka Bojangles. Because the chicken is nice, it's fried, it's everything right. But for two, it's got orange in the logo, and the only Popeyes that's nearby gave me like fast food or gave me food poisoning last time I ate it, and I just can't go there anymore. So I go to Bojangles every Friday. I get essentially the same thing with a Southern Shock every
Mountain
Friday.
Dew
The only
Southern
time
Shock. For those of
Mountain
you
Dew
that don't
Southern
know what that
Shock.
is.
If
Yeah.
you don't know what that is, you're missing out. But apparently they are discontinuing it at some stores. But it's the same thing when you go to Taco Bell. They got Baja Blast, Southern Shock. You can only get it at Bojangles. And I got it every Friday. Why? Because it's orange. The only time I didn't do this was when we played Georgia, and we all know what happened. I
It's your fault.
apologize. I take full responsibility for my actions. Um, just for the record, that was, the anti-Drew. And sometimes he just does what he wants because he plays for keeps. Yeah, so every Friday, Southern Shock, without fail. On game day, my traditions are I always eat from somewhere that is either the logo is orange or the food is orange. So, example, if I want pizza, I go to Little Caesars. If I order pizza or I order food, I'll get hot wings because they're orange. And I even will go, like, even if we order from like Domino's or Pizza Hut, I will get the chicken bacon ranch pizza with the hot sauce drizzle. Why? Because it's orange and white. I don't know why I like this, but I do it. Okay, so what game was it that? What game was it? They broke my heart.
South Carolina.
Was it South Carolina?
Yeah.
Where they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're not doing that anymore," and whatever. Yeah, it was this. Yeah, I didn't
It
think
was.
about that. So I go to like 3 separate Bojangles, and they do not have my coveted Southern Shock. So that's twice now that Bojangles has screwed me up. I know it's Bojangles, guys. Just live a little and believe in something. Everybody, shitting on me for everything else. So, gonna have to mark the cust. What? What was that? 137.
It'd be all right.
Go ahead and take a little note ski. Thankfully, I don't have to edit too much of this, but yeah. So that's twice now that they broke my heart. But not only did they discontinue, I'm just gonna let you tell the story. I'm getting too upset about it.
So he's real upset, guys. So uh, the Bojangles that Drew visited on a weekly basis during football season, I visit that as well on a regular basis, and I
Hold
hadn't
on,
been there in a
I'm
while.
gonna have to hold Peyton while you're telling the story. Go on.
Yeah. So this week I happened to venture into that establishment that decided to quit carrying Southern Chalk, and so the whole time the question that me and my buddy over here have been
We can call
asking
them
is,
the Bumble
what?
Squirts on here. That's our nickname for our little group. But
Huh?
so we can call them. Our nickname for our
It's not the
group
Bumble
is the
Squirts, though.
Bumble
It's just
Squirts.
me
So
and you, because the rest of them don't. They're a bunch of fakers, anyways. But, anyways, so I went to this establishment. I think on Thursday this week, and walked in the door, and they had replaced it. It had had an out order sticker on that dispenser on the machine for a
it's like
while.
opening up a fresh
Yeah,
wound that is
and
almost healed. Actually, as you're telling the story, it's
so I was
depressing.
like, well, I mean, we had talked about it. Like, maybe they'll replace it with another flavor Mountain Dew, something good. But no, guys, it was Pepsi Zero Sugar. So this machine has 6, I repeat, 6 drinks on it, and 3 were Pepsi, number 1, number 2, Diet Pepsi, and number 3, Pepsi Zero Sugar.
That is desecration. It's sacrilege. It's just plain wrong on so many levels. It offends me. I
Yeah.
don't like it. That make me feel good. That make me happy. And I don't get offended often. But when you take my luscious, delicious Southern Shock and you replace it with
Trash.
Pepsi
Trash.
Zero,
Trash.
not even Mountain Dew, not even Diet Mountain Dew,
Yeah.
Dale Jr., raise
Trash.
hell and praise Dale,
Yeah.
right? Dale Jr. drove for,
Not
Diet Mountain Dew.
Cheerwine. We were thinking maybe Cheerwine. Couldn't even do that.
I would even whore myself out for like some cherry Sierra Mist or something, but you're going to go and
Sierra
just
Mist is
lay.
no longer a thing. They canceled that shit.
Is there any point in me
It's now
doing
called.
the show anymore?
It's,
Is there?
it's now called Story, which makes I just can't drink that. I can't do it. It makes me want to put on a Chubsy or something. So, I don't know, but yeah. So that's the story of what used to be Southern Shock. If anybody that listens to this happens to work at a Bojangles and get your hand on a case or 5 of that stuff, please contact Big Drewski or myself.
I don't
Take
know.
off
They're
the
kind of dead to me now. I mean, not. I mean, I guess I don't know that technically this could be a Mountain Dew issue,
brother. This is
but
no. Well, this is a
how
Pepsi.
far up the corporate chain? Because I'm going to write a scathing letter. I just need
Yeah,
to know where to send it.
I think that this is a Pepsi corporate Bojangles issue where now that they're, we have to have diet, zero sugar, and regular. You can't have just diet or zero sugar. And they, but here's the problem with Bojangles. Have a dispenser with more than 6 drinks. How many? I mean, 6 sodas? What?
Is
This
it
is
Firehouse
2023.
Subs? Is it Firehouse Subs that has like the mad scientist thing?
Freestyle.
Yeah, where you can go in and it's got
Yeah, they have it.
Baskin
Zaxby's
Robbins. It's
has it.
got
There's
like
a lot of
32
places have that now,
combinations.
but yeah, I mean, do something. Do better. Do better.
I mean, I'm a hardcore fan of some Bojangles. Like I tear it up, and I don't know. I've only been back probably like 3 times, I think, since this happened,
Yeah,
anyways, because it was too hard for me to walk in there. Because it was like as soon as I walked in, I could almost taste the Southern Shock in my esophagus, like as soon as I walked through the door. And
taste in your esophagus.
it was already painful enough to just have to walk in there and not enjoy the deliciousness that is Southern Shock, but to just, I mean, it's like, if you have a hardcore breakup with the love of your
Yeah.
life, you're not going to go over to her mom's house.
I think you should suffer pain and suffering. I mean, I think we have a case. If
I
anybody
mean,
on here's a lawyer,
dude.
that's
Okay,
what it
so
is.
just to let y'all know how hardcore this obsession was, when we first found out the news, me and old Casper here and our other buddy Josh the Mechanic, which we'll bring on. It happened. I mean, I'm not gonna run away from it and shy away. Like it is what it is now. But and so at the time, now keep in mind, this was the week of South Carolina, and we all know what happened there. But so we were like hardcore, like trying to be like, okay, because your exact words, Peyton as my witness, was okay. First and most important thing is we got to secure the Southern Shock. So we were like calling everybody that we knew, anybody that worked at Bojangles, like, hey, what do we have to do to make a case fall off the truck? Like, how can we make this happen? I don't
Pepsi
know, man.
Cola, if you're listening, we're still looking.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're, like I said, they're kind of dead to me, but we were like, okay, so, and then I think, so in the process of this, Mick and Nick Josh at his work, we found out that they had an old soda machine that they were no longer using. So we're like, oh baby, we got the soda machine. Like we might be able to make this happen. We just got to find somebody that respects, that just doesn't respect their job enough to just leave it somewhere for 20 to 50 bucks. I mean, we would have probably all went in if we had to. Because at the time, we're thinking, dude, all we got to do is win out. We're going to the Natty. We can't risk it. The only time we didn't, we lost to Georgia. Like, we got to go all out. And it's like, and I mean, we were, I there's not a whole lot of things I'd do for Klondike Bar, but at the time I was really ready to risk it all, and I was going to do some less than questionable things that would probably dishonor my family, but it was this was like a legitimate thing. Like we were actually scheming, and like we all were at work, but if we wasn't, just you might as well picture maps on the walls, like crayon colored drawings, the whole nine yards. Like we were full on, had the schematics and everything,
Yeah.
trying to cook
It
together.
looked a little bit like the manifest board.
Yes, it's all
Yeah.
connected. But and then we didn't get it, and then we lost, and it is what it is now. But it is what it is. But so to go through all of that, and then it's like, okay, well, now what? So I guess I'm looking for a new game day situation. I don't know. I don't think I can do Popeyes, but Little Caesars, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to go.
We'll figure it out.
See. But so,
If anybody'd like to sponsor, though, Big Drew's Orange Friday Meal of the Week.
yeah, orange. So it either has to be an orange logo or the food has to be orange. So like hot wings, pizza, like bacon ranch pizza with hot sauce drizzle. It's got to be orange. That's my only criteria. Even like, did you see where Hardee's was doing like the orange and white Vol burger or whatever it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it is what it is. So moving on from that traumatic event, because now that we've rehashed that, I may or may not sleep tonight. Moving on from that, okay. I have been trolling some people. I do that from time to time. I'm not going to say I'm proud of it, but it is what it is. I just think it's funny because, like, anytime you're happy about anything related to the Vols, people just like want to come in and like make fun of you and stuff. So I've been trolling some people pretty hard, and I know for those of you that follow me, okay, you got to keep in mind some of this is sort of kind of on perfect. But I posted a meme, and it was like a picture of our baseball team, our basketball team, and our football team. And it said, within the last 365, first in baseball, first in football, second in basketball. And of course, people were like, no, but you ain't done nothing. You ain't never going to do nothing. You never can win the last game. It don't mean nothing without a natty or a championship. You had one good year, now you think you're back. All this stuff. Of course, I always respond with, we back, baby. Or, like, can't touch us. I don't know, whatever. I just like to mess with people. But the thing I keep seeing over and over and over again is, you haven't won nothing, you ain't done nothing, it don't matter without a natty, blah, 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 blah. So I guess the question that I'm going to pose, and I think I probably know what your answer is going to be, but so in my mind, I'm looking at the last span of the last 20 years. Our women's basketball there's times that was the only thing we had going for us. There's times where all we had was football. It's never been one cohesive thing. In my mind, natty or not, when you're looking at the scope of things and you're like, okay, baseball's, second right now. Basketball's second. Football finished sixth. Not only that, but we won a New Year's Six bowl in football, in the orangiest Orange Bowl that's ever happened in the history of Orange Bowls.
Orangiest.
the orangiest. So we won that. We were SEC champs in baseball, SEC champs in basketball. A lot of people's like, and that's like my favorite way to troll people because they're like, no, you ain't got a single championship to show for it. I'm like, actually, we got two. No, SEC championships don't count. I'm like, well, you should have been more specific. But so in your mind, do the Tennessee Vols faithful? Is it unjustified? Should they feel bad for being excited for having two SEC championships and a New Year's Six bowl, winning 11 wins for the first time since 2001? Or should we just be like, okay, well, we lucked out, just whatever, get over it? Like, in your mind, is it justified to be happy about that? Or is it like, let's pump the brakes a little bit, whatever? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, in my mind, it's completely justified. It's improvement from where we've been. Okay, and it's consistent improvement. Actually, if you go back and look at the last 2 years, okay, this is not just a one-time fluke, right? This it seems like a program change, and my whole rant about football. Good lord, the coaching thing that we've done for the last 10 years before Heupel. Golly,
It's been rough. It's been this whole thing of like, oh, we ain't done,
yeah.
like, let's just fire everybody and move on, just start all over, get rid of everybody, it is whatever.
Yeah, so but that to me it's justified because like I said, it's constant improvement and I anybody that says it's not, I mean who are we talking to, like Missouri and Kentucky fans?
Well,
I mean,
so, not making the playoffs is what it is.
yep. If it was 12-team playoff, which it will be in 2 years because that's how the
Yeah,
system should be.
us losing to South Carolina was the Volsiest Vols thing that we could have possibly done. Like, it
Yeah.
is, it's what we do, right? Like, it's like, all we got to do is beat South Carolina, then, blah, blah, blah. And then we lose. And we don't lose very good, which I guess Georgia fans always want to say, like, oh, we beat your ass. I'm like, oh, 14 points, though. Like, if anybody beat our, because everybody always wants to say, like, oh, no, Stetson Bennett, that's your daddy. I'm like, if anybody's our daddy, it's Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Stetson, yeah, they beat us, pretty good, but 14
And
points
they were
is
a
not
good team.
nearly as embarrassing as, like, what we did in South Carolina.
So, no, I think it's definite improvement. We'll see how it continues throughout this year. And like we said earlier tonight, we in our first segment there talking about basketball. They need to look good for the rest of the year. They need to get it together. So we can finish out this year strong and look good. But no, I mean, don't worry about them people. Come on, man.
Yeah, like I said,
just keep trolling.
like I said, I keep trolling, but like in my mind, I'm like, look, dude, I'm happy about it. We won 11 in football. Our baseball team, yeah, they haven't won a natty, but they're good. Our basketball team's good. Like, for once, it's like I can actually expect to maybe win a game or two. So, like, I don't think that Vols fans should be, embarrassed by that or upset about that. Like, it is what it is. You know. Memphis, buddy, TikTok ain't my only show there, buddy. I got like 2 million views on Facebook, so it is what it is. But so, anyways, so my question, I think we talked about this in a podcast or two ago. Football predictions over under 9 games. I mean, we looked at the schedule a little bit, but
my prediction is 9 games. That's my prediction. And that's because I'm trying to be I think 9 is what we should win. I think 9's good.
Need to look at the
anything 8 would be okay. 9 is good. Less than 8's disappointment. More than 9 is I'm excited.
Let me see here. I just want to look at it for myself. So we got, no, that's basketball. If we were gonna have a good run, honestly, I think it would probably be this year.
I mean, like we were talking about the other day, it's all going to depend on what our boy Joe Milton does. Is he T. Martin Jr.?
I mean, that's what a lot of people say. And a lot of people saying, like, oh, Peyton was the better quarterback, and then T. Martin come in and won with his team. There's a lot of people saying the same thing about, Joe Milton. Let me see here. Like, I mean, when you look at the schedule, it's like, man, that's not that bad. So September 2nd, Virginia. That is a neutral site game.
That's a win.
All time, we're 3-1. So that should be a win. Austin Peay should be a win, which I'm actually pretty excited about that game because I'll get to watch Malachi Dow. I was trying to heavily recruit him for the Vols, but it didn't work.
Do better.
Yeah, no. September 16th, Florida. I think it's at Florida. They lead that series 31-21. I think we can get the dub, but I also think they're going to be looking for a lot to prove this year, so I'm not going to get my hopes up too high.
We'll see what their quarterback situation is.
UTSA should be a dub. Now, that actually might be a halfway decent game because they're kind of known for scoring some points, at least this past year. I mean, we'll see what they do this year, but
it better not be a good game. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it better not be a good game.
yeah, South Carolina.
F them. Oh, sorry.
I think we're probably going to be one to come out and kick him in the mouth. That is
I hope
at
so.
Neyland Stadium.
Yeah,
but they
we
always
might
play
have to buy tickets for that one.
They always play us so scrappy. Texas A&M. They didn't play that well this year, but I feel like they're a lot better than they look. Bama. Alabama. That's at Tuscaloosa.
Tough one.
They're going to be like just absolutely rocking and rolling this year, dude. Like they're not going to want to put up with anything. So,
although Saban, he's sending players away. So, hey.
Yeah, that I was considering talking about that. We might finish with that, but yeah, no. Kentucky is at Kentucky. Now, you were saying all year this year you thought that might be a trap game. It may actually be a trap game this time. I mean, we lead that series all time 83-26. So, and we've tied 9. So, like, it seems like no matter how good Kentucky plays, we always beat them. But I mean, I think we should be able to win that one. Then we got UConn, Mizzou, sometimes they'll sneak up and get them. And then Georgia, that one's at home. So they're going to be kind of in a rebuild. Can we sneak in and get them? I don't know, maybe. The whole Alabama thing, that's just going to depend on how their quarterback does, dude. Like, my God.
Yeah.
What was his name? Milroe, whatever.
Milroe,
yeah,
something like that. He's definitely gonna have to improve on throwing the ball, and I don't know what kind of recruits they have coming in either.
They're number 1 in the nation right now.
So back on the three losses that we're concerned about there. The games that we're worried about is Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, right? That's it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of respectfully, you can maybe throw Kentucky in there. Kentucky, they're just one of those teams. We had their number this year. It was not game at home, but not game at home. But every once in a while they'll sneak up and get us. But I think they're really going to be gunning for us. But Will Levis is going to. So I mean that one probably won't be. But yeah, I mean like you said, the big 3: Georgia, Alabama, Florida in the swamp.
Yeah.
The other ones, I don't want to make the mistake, which I've already done a whole podcast on. We're not going to backtrack, but we talked about how important Jeremy Banks missing that game really was, and the things that may or may not have happened. Like I can see why we dropped that one, but South Carolina is a good team. Like they beat us, they turn around, they beat Clemson. Like they're a good team, so like and they always play us scrappy. So like I don't want to make the same mistake and not respect that. But
so I think out of those 3 games, I think that if we can win 1 out of those 3, that'd be good, and that leaves us one other game to screw up somewhere else. So if we win one of those, lose another one, I feel like that's why I feel pretty good about 9. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you agree with
it? I mean, so like you said, 9 I'm okay with. 8 I can live with, but any less than 8 it's just going to be. And again, I don't want to put too much pressure.
I don't want to fire the coach if we have less than 8. I want to go on record right now. We're not firing Heupel. Yeah. We don't want to get rid of him. Like no, like I want at least like 6 years at least.
Yeah, you're talking about including the past 2.
Yeah,
like 6 total.
Yeah.
I mean, let me see here. To see Vols football. I'm trying to get like an actual list, but no, like I think 8 I can live with. I'd be pretty upset, but 8 I can live with. 9 I definitely think is doable for sure. 10 is like I think we can hit 10 this year, but I mean,
If
10
you include a bowl
total,
game,
not
I think 10's fair.
yes, yeah, like 10 total,
Yeah.
not 10 regular season. But
Yeah.
I'm not used to being good back to back. So like, this is going to be the first test, right? Because like leading into this year, you're kind of like, okay, how much of it is dating Ainge or dating Ainge? How many of it is Danny White? How much of it is Heupel? How much of it is Hooker? Like a lot of people think it's because of Hooker. A lot of people think, there's people that think different things. So
Yeah.
this year is really going to be like, okay, we're going to have to like kind of show what we're made of, so to speak. But I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. Now, we talked about this briefly off camera, but there's some people that are saying that there's like actually a competition between Joe and Nico. A, do you think there's a competition? I don't, just for the record, but do you think there's a competition? A or B, should there be a competition if there is not already one?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer this backwards. So B, um, there should not be a competition. No. Um, A, I think there is gonna be a little bit of one. I think that with the money he's getting in the NIL deal, they have to kinda. I think either way they're gonna have to play it up.
Right.
The problem is if he doesn't play, you have to worry about him transferring. That's the problem. But no, I don't think there should be a competition. I think I was worried about it. But then we played the Orange Orange Bowls, and Milton looked like, I mean, I let's ride, let's give him a shot. And he sat there. I think he learned a lot from Hooker last year behind him. I think he looked a lot more confident and in control. Um, Whenever he made bad throws, he didn't come back and get nervous and do it again. He looked a lot more poised. So no, I think that the talk about, Nico and should we be trading quarterbacks right now and going into spring having a competition, I think it's a joke. I think it's disrespectful, and I think that it's going to possibly cause problems. So I really wish everybody just shut the hell up. That's kind of how I feel about it. Is that fair
Yeah.
enough? Is
So
that a hard
like,
stance?
I mean, not all the way hard stance, but like, so my thing is like, okay, so previously, I've said it just like everybody else. Kind of question like, okay, he's got a cannon for an arm. We know
Yeah,
that. We're for
100%.
sure on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, like, but can he throttle back enough to make some of those short to intermediate throws? Like that's always kind of been the biggest thing, right? So I had the same questions, but I'm like you, like coming into the Orange Bowl, I was like, man, who knows what's going to happen? But like after he got in and after he played, I was like, man, honestly, like to me, he kind of put all that stuff at rest. So I was kind of like, okay, well, like I wasn't quite as nervous. Now, can some of that stuff still creep up? Yeah. But I'm kind of like you, dude. I'm like, dude, just put a little respect on that dude's name. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's proven that he deserves to be the starter. Not that Nico's not going to be good or whatever, but, and honestly, like, Nico needs to bulk up a little bit too, man. Like, it's not just, you know, is he going to be good enough? But like, dude, he's playing in the SEC now. He's a little, little on the thin side, so he's gonna have to bulk up a little bit, anyways. But like,
Yeah.
give the guy a year, let him, train behind Milton and stuff. Like,
We talk about this all the time on our call there. The quarterbacks that come in, whether it's the NFL or college, and they go straight on the field, they're never ready. They get beat up, and then they start from behind because they're beat up, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like you. Let them sit.
Yeah, let him sit, let him learn. Like, I think he's going to be a beast. Now, I mean, I hope he plays with us
Yeah.
for a little bit and doesn't
Yeah.
just like take off and like go do other stuff or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I think he's going to be good. We just got to give him a little bit of time behind Milton. But like, I mean, like, I'm still not 100% confident because like in high pressure situations, it's like, how's he going to do? But I mean, I think he's at least earned the spot. But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. We still got
a little competition. I don't really want it to be a competition like to start, but let him have some reps. I mean, I want Nico to get some experience, and obviously, hey, we want to score like 70 points a game even without Hooker, and we still want Nico to play it every game in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, personally, I do. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping to run the score up and break him in slow.
I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
wonder if they're going to redshirt him, but I feel like I don't see him. I mean, I could be wrong, but I
No,
feel
they're not.
like
They're not going to
I don't
redshirt
see
him.
him. I
There's
was
no
going to
point.
say I don't see them redshirting him with
Yeah.
as highly anticipated as he is. Like I think, like kind of like you said, the $7 million arm thing. Like you can't just leave him sitting
Yeah.
on the
Correct.
sideline.
Yeah.
So
I don't see when you have a talent like him that's recruited that hard. The only red shirt they're probably ever going to use if they have an injury, which obviously we're hoping that never happens. But like, I mean, he's going to the draft in 3 years, so why red shirt him? I mean, I don't want
might
him to
as well let him
start,
play.
but get him 1 year behind Milton, let him play for 2 years.
Yeah,
Then he's gone.
yeah,
Right?
I agree with you there. But yeah, like I don't know why people are saying that there's going to be. I mean, like Milton is clearly the guy. I think he's going to have to really, really, really mess up for them to pull him out. But also, it's kind of like, I mean, dude, like, I kind of hope that they don't because, like you said, I don't want to throw Nico in there and then throw him in too early and then
Yeah.
him struggle because he's just, I mean, basically a quote unquote rookie or freshman, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And then
We,
us have a whole new situation of like, okay, well, now what are we going to do? You
we
know?
only want him to play in garbage time, right? Like that's it.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
kind
mean,
of the ultimate goal.
you know, with what was that one guy that transferred out, the other quarterback?
Jackson? Taven?
Yeah, with him transferring out, there is nobody between Milton and like that's it. It's Milton Nico, right? So
Yeah.
um, I like you said, the money thing makes it different. But you still have to let him sit there. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like that's
You know,
the best thing to do.
I mean, we can argue
Now,
over the money thing being a screwed up system because like if he's not playing, he probably shouldn't be getting $2 million a year.
well, we
In my
know Nick
opinion.
Saban
But
doesn't like NIL. I think did I cover that on the last podcast?
no. Mm-mm.
I didn't.
You
The Nick Saban
You
thing.
might have. The one without me. Yeah, I
Uh,
think you did. Yeah, you
I
did.
think I
You
did
did.
cover it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Do you think? Now
So
this
that
is random off the wall question. Do you think Deion Sanders goes to the playoffs in the first 2 years? Keep in mind, is it next year? We're opening up to 12.
no, it's the year after.
Like not
Um,
this upcoming year, but the following year.
it's the season of 24. So,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
uh,
Like so, like not this year, but the following year.
yes.
So, do you think in
So
the first
Deion's 2nd
2 years?
year at Colorado, can he be in the top 12 with the Colorado Buffaloes?
I think so.
No, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. If you want to record this, which you are, and you want to
I
clip
am
this, here, I'll go on a little rant. Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes will not be in the playoffs in the next 2 years. They won't be in it for the next 4 years, honestly. I
I
just
think
don't
they
think they're
will.
gonna have it.
No, but just to hear me out. I mean, like I think you got to look at the conference they're in. I mean that's why I think that they may have a shot because I'm just going to pull up their schedule.
We looked at it, they play absolutely nobody. Okay,
So
he's
now
bringing
again, do what?
he's bringing a lot of those players up with him, but man, the quarterback issue is the one. Like I don't want to. I like Dion. I like what he's doing, so I don't want to dump too hard. But like the quarterback is.
So we
There's a
got
question mark.
so
It's like as
now
big as my head.
there's a question mark. So I mean, we're going to find out whether or not he can play at D1 level. But
Yeah.
Game 1 TCU, they're going into a rebuild kind of, right? I mean, they don't have Max Duggan. I mean, their coach is second year.
Yeah.
Majority of their staff is like brand new, so we'll see what happens there. But they're playing TCU, playing Nebraska, Colorado State, Oregon, and USC. That's kind of a
I do
Ohio
want to go on
State.
record saying they're going to beat TCU right off the rip.
If they beat TCU and they get some confidence, like, man, I don't know. But then they're going to Oregon, then they're going to USC, then they're going to Arizona State. Or, well, maybe not going to, but playing Arizona State. Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, Utah. I mean, I don't know that they're going to run the table in the first year, but I mean, he's got like the number one
So,
cornerback. He's got Travis Hunter. Can Shador actually play? I don't know. I mean,
we don't know. He could completely ball out. Hope he does. But
I
my
just
thing
feel
is,
like,
so you read off that list those teams in our conference, and USC, Oregon, Washington, and we're like, they're not that good. Okay, that's because you
well,
got to think about where we're located at, though. We're
I'm not
located
trying
down
to
here in the
say that they're
southeastern
not that
conference.
good. I just think with the recruits that Colorado's bringing in, that's where I'm like, I don't know, man. They might be able to at least squeak out some like a lucky win or two, but then like maybe do like a kind of convincing win against a couple people.
So they're gonna have to win their conference to get in. The
Yeah,
SEC's taken 6 or 7 teams
it's very
first
possible.
playoff, 6 or 7.
I don't want to like, you know,
My money's
people
on
already
6. My money's
people
on
already
6
tell me
SEC
I'm a
teams out of 12, straight up.
six. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to not be like one of those crazy SEC fan people
I mean,
that's like,
so am I. Like,
but like,
but
but you look at the teams that didn't make it in. Like, I don't. The Vols wasn't supposed to be this good this year. We were, but
no,
we wasn't supposed to be this
correct.
good. Um, but we were sitting there at sixth. You got Bama sitting there at fifth. LSU was hanging around. I think they might have dropped out of the top 12. But I mean, you had some teams. I mean, then Ole Miss, they kind of pulled us and like sort of just like had all the hype and everything rolling and then kind of screwed it up. But, you know,
Every one of those teams that you just listed probably would have beat TCU and probably would have beat Tulane.
yeah, I mean,
Every
like I
one of
said,
them. Like,
I
sorry.
don't want to sound like one of those crazy like SEC raging whatevers, but
Yeah.
it's just like you look at some of that talent, man. It's like, I mean, Florida beat Utah,
Yeah. They
so
suck.
yeah, like this was not their year. Bama was having an off year and spanked Kansas.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Kansas State. Um, so it's like, I try to not be like one of those rageaholic SEC type people, but then at the same time, it's like, but I mean, we've
Look,
seen what happened though. So
well, I think that when this is kind of side tangent, but as far as this whole conference comparison situation that we're talking about, Dion being in, I think that 5 years into a 12-team playoff, you go and you look at SEC wins, and you can probably there'll be more SEC wins in a 12-team playoff than there will be all the rest of them combined.
yeah,
That, sorry, I don't love
yeah.
everybody in SEC, but
I mean, it's like I think they were talking about like the SEC had it was something like 21 5 stars. And like the next conference down had like 3 or 4 or something. I mean, it's just, I don't know, dude.
like,
The talent that's coming into the SEC. And then you also, by the time we've got a 12-team playoff, now you got Oklahoma and Texas in the mix.
yep.
Like when you look at,
Well, there will be 1 year because we did determine that this week that Texas and Oklahoma won't be there because they can't come till 25. So there is one season of a 12-team playoff without Texas and Oklahoma, but that's it.
yeah, let me see here. I
So
just want to look at, what was I going to look up? Top 25, maybe? We were talking about something I was going to look at. I don't remember if I was going to look up the top 25 or. Oh, no. The recruiting. And then we'll kind of wrap this up. But, like, when you look at the expanded SEC, you got. So, recruiting this year, Bama is first, and they're beating Georgia by 12 points in recruiting. Georgia second, Texas third, Oklahoma fourth. So that's 4 future and current SEC teams. Ohio State squeaks in at fifth. You got LSU six. You got Miami and Oregon 7, 8. Tennessee Vols ninth. Notre Dame 10th. So that's like the top 10 right there. But
yeah,
it's like, it like I said, and even Florida's 14th. You got Notre Dame at 10th, Clemson at 11, USC at 12, Penn State 13, and then you got Florida at 14th. So, and then right after that, you got Florida, Texas A&M, South Carolina, Auburn. Boom, boom, boom. 14, 15, 16, 17. They're above Michigan, who made it in the top 4.
Yep.
They're above TCU. Michigan's above TCU, who went to the national championship. I mean, it's just like, again, dude, it's like, I don't want to be one of those rageaholic, SEC top, whatever, beating my chest saying, oh, no, it's SEC's the best. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
look
not
at
trying
it
to be
on
that way
paper,
either.
though.
I'm originally an ACC guy, so
Yeah,
But
before you moved and wisened up.
when I was a child. But
Yeah.
it's I'm not trying to just beat on my chest either. It's just that like it's facts, stats matter.
No, stats don't matter. They never mattered. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like that sometimes, though.
Yeah.
But if you're listening to this, feel free to let us know what you think. Hit up the link tree, linktr.ee/Big Ladrewski. For that matter, just hit up the website because it's probably going to be up by the time you guys hear this anyways. BigDrewski.com. That's pretty much all I have. Do you have any closing statements, any racing tidbits you want to throw out, or attaboys, thank yous?
Closing statements.
Now that I'm finally letting you talk.
T-Fiddy, you're a jackass for not showing up today on time and not replying. Drew,
Yeah,
thanks for having me on the show. It's a great show.
He said, yeah, I might make it. I was like, you know where to find us. But like I said, I've got to just start rolling right at 9, whether he's,
No, I think it's fine. But other than that,
feel
thanks for
free
having me on
to
the show. I don't have a whole lot of
email us in and give us crap about our third wheel that didn't want to show up tonight. I'm just kidding. But it's fun as always. I mean, and again, if you like racing, check out Casper's show.
Yes.
Caution flag, contemplations.
Listen. Here's what you need to know. So this is the one weekend of the year: college football and NASCAR in the same stadium. The Busch Clash in the LA Coliseum. Whenever USC got done with football season on November 22nd, they said, we're taking this field out and we're paving it, and we're going to race cars on it after that. So, pretty awesome deal. Sit back, relax, enjoy that.
I am a NASCAR fan now, so I've got to, really, really catch up.
8 o'clock tomorrow night. You better be ready.
Oh, it's tomorrow. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't think I've got it. I'll have to listen to your podcast just to get caught up.
Well, hopefully my podcast is going to talk about NASCAR because it's going to be late. So I got to do that tomorrow night too. But yeah, that's my NASCAR tidbit. We're actually racing on a football field tomorrow. So just want everybody to know that.
Well, this has been Big Drewski. I'm here with Casper. You're listening to episode 6 of season 2. Until next time, I'm Big Ladrewski, and I am out. Thank you guys for listening.